What is up, guys? Eric here from Real Film Reviews, bringing you another movie review, this time for the new Mark Wahlberg film, Deepwater Horizon. Deepwater Horizon stars Mark Wahlberg, Kurt Russell, and John Malkovich, and is the story of the oil rig Deepwater Horizon, which back in the 2000s exploded in a massive fire and spilled a ton of oil into the Gulf of Mexico. It is considered one of the biggest disasters in the history of the United States, and it was very interesting to learn about this story told from the point of view of the people that were on the rig when this occurred. It is directed by Peter Berg of Lone Survivor fame, and I feel that he actually has improved. I feel like everything he did previous to Lone Survivor was always just pretty alright. He never did anything that really blew me out of the water, but I felt with Lone Survivor was when everyone all of a sudden started to take him seriously as a possible real director in Hollywood, where I felt Lone Survivor was a little preachy and it didn't really have the right pacing for the film. It was very slow at times, it dragged, and I feel that he actually fixed a lot of those issues in Deepwater Horizon. I felt that the pacing in this movie improved, I thought that his direction improved, and I thought that this movie, for the most part, was actually very visually stunning, which is really the best thing I can say about this. Every scene in this movie looked really good. All of the explosions, the fire, the sound design in this movie is great. For a disaster film, this movie has those great massive wide shots that you need in a film like that to show you the destruction that's happening, to show you the real scope of everything that is occurring. Being as this is based on a true story that is about real people that really were on this oil rig, I found it extremely interesting. I don't know a lot about what actually happened on Deepwater Horizon. I've seen the episode of The Newsroom that talks about it, but I don't know what those people went through, so it was really nice to learn about it. Whether this has some dramatic Hollywood stuff thrown in there or not, it was still really interesting just to sort of get a feel for what happened on that actual oil rig. This movie also has some pretty impressive stunts. There aren't a lot of stunts in the movie, but there are a few that take place as everything's kind of going wrong on the oil rig that actually looked really good. I felt that Kurt Russell gave a actually good performance in this movie, and I don't say actually good like Kurt Russell normally is bad, I just mean for the script of this film, I didn't really expect to see any performance that was really anything more than just okay, but I felt Kurt Russell did a good job in this movie. I felt that John Malkovich was a fun presence on the screen, like his character had fun repartee with other characters, but I didn't think he really played that big of a part, so I didn't really understand why they spent all the money to get John Malkovich. And then Mark Wahlberg was fine. He was Mark Wahlberg. When you hire Mark Wahlberg for a movie, most of the time you get a solid performance, and it's not really anything special, but that's fine. There is one scene at the end of the film that I thought Mark Wahlberg actually was exceptionally good in. Before most of the movie, he was just alright. I know I already mentioned it earlier, but the visuals in this movie really are what make this movie great. The explosions, the fire, the massive scale of this just disaster that takes place in the middle of the ocean. It was really cool to see it all put to screen. The only issues I have with the film are that the beginning is maybe a little slow. It's not necessarily dragging, it's just sort of slow to start. And then I felt that a lot of the secondary characters in the movie that we meet, they're all wearing the same outfit, and when you get farther into the movie, you are introduced to a ton of characters, like by name, because Mark Wahlberg, the person he's playing, was very liked by everyone on this rig. So he talks to a lot of them, like personally, like he knows them as friends. And then when the disaster starts, it's very hard to tell apart who is someone that we met earlier and who is someone that's just an extra. So it was sort of difficult when you were watching this as to whether you were supposed to feel emotions sometimes when bad things would happen to characters, because sometimes it was very hard to discern what character was which. However, the main issue with this movie, as you could have probably expected, is it has some pretty generic and cliche lines throughout it. The script is fine. It's not bad. Pacing wise, I thought it did a good job, and I thought it told the story in a good way, but I didn't feel like a lot of the dialogue that was taking place felt very real sometimes. There were different moments in the movie where it just kind of came off very cliche and very just like, haha, like you know that feeling, guys, when your boss is on your back. And I understood the point of it, but at the same time, it just felt kind of generic and it felt like they could have done a little bit more with it. I'm gonna give Deepwater Horizon a B. I I thought that this was a really entertaining true story disaster film, and I think that we're getting a lot of true story movies recently. We had Sully, Snowden, and now this all in like less than a month. So I think that honestly this is, in terms of the story that they tell, this is better than Sully, but not quite as good as Snowden because Snowden covers a much bigger topic. But I did really enjoy this movie. I would compare it to Everest from last year, which I actually really enjoyed. I don't think this movie is quite as good as Everest, but it has that same feeling. It's a very good disaster movie that's based on a true story where you learn more about what happened, and I really enjoyed it. Well guys, as always, I'm Eric. If you enjoyed this video, please do like, subscribe, comment down below what you thought of Deepwater Horizon, share everything we do here on Real Film Reviews. I will be posting a new Netflix video tomorrow. My other one has recently been obtaining a lot of views, and I've garnered some new subscribers, so welcome to the channel everyone. If you watch this video, the new Netflix video that covers October will be up Saturday, and I'm really excited to get it up so all you guys can see some more recommendations from me. Hope to see you guys later.